This week on 0 Days Since Nonsense, I would like to purchase a thing. Unfortunately, that business model has been discontinued. Would I be interested in buying Thing Plus for $12.99 a month? No. What about Thing Pro? It includes dark mode and an embedded AI that you can't turn off. Feels like we've reached a point where software doesn't even want customers anymore. It just wants tenants. Things that you used to just buy have now turned into a guessing game of, do I have the right tier to use the thing I'm already spending money on? And every individual subscription sounds reasonable, and that's where they get you. It's never give us all your money forever. They say it's only $9 a month, and then you look at your bank statement and realize that 9 different companies independently have the same exact idea. Now, subscriptions aren't automatically bad. Some products genuinely have ongoing costs. Cloud services need infrastructure, software needs updates, support teams have to exist, and somebody has to keep fixing the thing when an update breaks it at 4:55 on a Friday. Recurring revenue can also give companies a reason to keep improving a product instead of selling version 7, cashing the check and disappearing into the night. The problem is that subscriptions stopped being the exception and became the default. Now everything wants recurring revenue, even when you're paying for something that barely changes. The business gets predictable income and you get another monthly charge that you probably won't remember until 6 months later when you're looking at your bank statement wondering why Premium Productivity Plus is taking $14.99 from you every month. So today we're talking about why subscriptions took over tech, when they actually make sense, and why paying forever for something that used to be a one-time purchase feels increasingly ridiculous. Monthly pricing is psychologically beautiful. $10 sounds small. $10 every month until the sun burns out sounds a little different. And because every subscription gets evaluated by itself, they end up piling up quietly. One for work, one for storage, one for entertainment, maybe one you signed up for because the free tier suddenly stopped including the one feature you actually used. Individually, none of them look catastrophic, but together, you've accidentally built yourself a second utility bill, and tech companies know this. $20 a month feels easier than $240 up front, even though you're still paying $240 by the end of the year. The product didn't get cheaper, the number just got friendlier. And if you keep paying into year 2, year 3, year 4, now you've paid way more than the one-time price it would have been. But hey, at least you got dark mode. A one-time purchase has a pretty simple relationship. Company makes product. Customer likes product. Customer buys product. Done. That's it. A subscription changes the incentive because now the product has to keep convincing you to pay for it. That can be good. It can mean updates, support, bug fixes, and real improvements over time. But it can also mean that a product that has already solved its problem suddenly needs more features just to prove it's evolving. So now the simple app needs AI, then collaboration, then analytics, then a dashboard that's part of their enhanced workspace. And suddenly that PDF editor that you use to sign a document once every 3 months is trying to become the operating system for your entire life. And that's the part that bugs me. Sometimes software is done, not abandoned, done. It solves the problem and it works. But it works and people like it is apparently not enough when the business model depends on convincing everybody that they still need to pay every month. And if you thought consumer subscriptions were annoying, business software takes this to a whole different level. You find a tool that solves the problem, great. You need single sign-on, enterprise tier. You need audit logs, enterprise tier. You need basic administrative control so the company can actually manage accounts, please contact sales. Security and management features are constantly being treated like luxury add-ons. I'm not asking for heated seats. I'm asking for the ability to disable Dave's account after Dave leaves the company. But because businesses need those controls, they get bundled into the tier where the price disappears from the website and carefully gets replaced with a cheerful talk to sales button. Nothing makes me feel more relaxed than seeing contact us for pricing. That definitely means the number is going to be reasonable. And then once you're in, you find out the feature you actually need isn't even an enterprise. It's an enterprise plus, because apparently there was still room above enterprise. And what's even worse is you learn a lot about a company when you try to leave. Signing up takes 30 seconds, but canceling feels like you're trying to escape a timeshare presentation. You finally find the account page, click cancel, pick a reason, reject a discount, confirm that yes, you understand that you'll lose access to Premium Plus, and then you get one final screen asking if you're really sure. Yes, I'm sure. I just want to stop paying for the thing. And sometimes the company isn't even trying to keep you because the product is good anymore. It's trying to keep you with friction. That's where the subscription fatigue starts to set in. Paying for ongoing isn't the problem. The problem is when the relationship was clearly designed to be easier to enter than to exit. A good subscription should earn the renewal. It shouldn't survive because you forgot you're still paying for it. Now, with that being said, I don't think all subscriptions are bad. There are plenty of cases where recurring payments make sense. A hosted service has ongoing infrastructure costs. A security product that constantly needs updates because threats don't just stop changing because you already paid once? A platform with active support and continuous development is very different from a calculator app that added 3 buttons in 2021 and now wants $8.99 a month. The question is whether the value is recurring too. If I'm still paying, am I still getting something meaningful for that payment? And that's really the whole trade. The problem starts when recurring payments become the default no matter what the product actually does. At that point, the subscription isn't funding the service is just there to justify the subscription. Now, with all that serious business out of the way, it's time for this week's recurring segment, Things Security Says. First, we need an enterprise tier. What finance hears is, security found a more expensive button. What security actually means is, apparently audit logs and single sign-on are a premium lifestyle feature now. Next, we need to know what software people are paying for. What everyone hears is, security wants another inventory. What security actually means is there are 17 company cards quietly paying for 17 different SaaS tools, and at least 4 of those belong to people who don't work here anymore. And finally, can we remove unused licenses? What everyone hears is administrative housekeeping. What security actually means is, why are we still paying $38 a month for an account called Intern Test? Okay, but seriously, subscriptions aren't going anywhere. For a lot of software, this is just the business model now. The useful question is whether the recurring cost still matches the recurring value. For individuals, this means occasionally checking what you're actually paying for. For businesses, this means treating SaaS like something that needs to be managed, not just something bought by somebody with a company card 6 years ago and forgot about. Know what you use, know who owns it, know how many licenses you're paying for, know what happens if the vendor doubles the price or suddenly decides the feature you rely on belongs in a more expensive tier. Because a tool that costs $15 a month when one person starts using it can quietly turn into a serious line item once the whole company starts depending on it. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of 0 Days Since Nonsense. The key takeaways from this episode were subscription can fund good software, they can keep products supported, updated, and available, but if I'm paying forever, the value should keep showing up too. The problem isn't that software costs money. The problem is that everything wants to cost money forever, and somehow the product that used to ask, would you like to purchase a license, now feels more like, what relationship tier would you like to begin with? I just want to edit a PDF. Why does that require signing away the keys to my car and 40% of my soul to accomplish? For this week's audience question, what product or feature made you stop and say, wait, they have a subscription for this? Leave your answer in the comments below. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.